Alright guys, welcome back to another video to all about the metal. So you'll notice this is not a coin unboxing. You don't even see a lot of my stack on the screen right now. But I want you to know you do see a portion of a future stack. So on today's video, I'm going to be talking about silver in general. Now, silver is used in a lot of different things, not just in bullion. So you'll see here a couple of examples on the table we have are some contactors, which is what this is and this is. You'll also see some relays. You'll also see some bad breakers that I have here on the table, as well as control boards, which are featured in many different devices. A lot of these will have some type of silver in them. Sometimes there will be silver on the back. This one is copper wiring on the back, and later on in the video I will also show you some control boards that have gold on the back. But all of this stuff does require a little bit of work, but the upside to all of this stuff is this is stuff that you could get for free. Now, before we kind of get into how to get some of this merchandise, I'm going to explain to you how some of this stuff has actual silver incorporated into it. Now, here are some contactors. They're already opened up, and I don't know if you can really see that very well, but this one has been burned out, okay? Which means the contactor had stopped pulling in as well, or the contact itself was weakened, or just the fact of the amperage going through it started to blacken out. So in order to prevent it from failing prematurely or failing unexpectedly, typically they just get replaced. Now, usually these kinds of things end up in the trash. So a lot of this is just repurposed and recycled. Most of it is never recycled again and ends up in a landfill. But you can recycle it and get the materials out of it for free. Now, this is a portion of the breaker. This is what you find inside of these. This is kind of already broken apart to show you as an example. Now, typically, this is coated in silver. It's usually not silver itself. You'll notice on this it kind of has a kind of a brass color right here, or a copper color, but all around this is actual silver. Now on that you'll see, oops, I just dropped a piece of it, but that's okay. So on this you'll see this is all coated in silver. This is also coated in silver. Now this is just copper, so you can just either cut this and throw it away, or you can do what I do up here and turn some of this copper into bars. Now you will notice there's a little tab right here. That is a silver contact. Similar to right here, which is typically out of a relay, if my camera would focus. Right here, let's just try to get a good shot of it. Right here is a silver contact on a relay as well. Now this one does have copper on the back, which you will see there, but if you pull that off, you can get the silver off of it. That contact that I just showed you is off of something like this. You'll see the top of this has a contact. If we break this apart, there's another contact down below, and there's usually another contact on one of the sides. All control boards with relays, which is this is what that is, have a contact in it, and 90% of the time the relay contact is silver. So inside this relay, for example, obviously you can see this is very burned out, but if you look through one of these ones, which isn't damaged as badly, to the side, if you look right here, that is a silver contact. Now it makes contact from the bottom and the top, which means you'll have 3 contacts all right here all together once we break that open and pull it out. And you can end up with a pile when you start taking all the silver contacts out like this. Now you will see there is still copper connected onto some of these contacts. Some of them there is not. Some of them do. However, there is a chemical process that we can remove the silver from the copper and take that and get purified silver. Now, it does take a little bit more. You can get the silver out, and it's not exactly 99% pure, but there are chemicals that will allow you to get it to be 99% pure. You'll notice here, these are from the contactors right here on the screen. If you break this open, there's this solid single piece right here within this contactor, which will have silver on it. Once you pull it out, it looks like this. This is the single bar that's going right there across the top. Now, the easiest way you can get these off is by melting them off of the metal that they're already on using a MAPP gas torch or acetylene torch or any other kind of torch. Propane torches will do it as well, but it takes a lot longer to heat up the metal to get it off. Or you can typically drill them out and pop these out and just dump them into chemical to remove it. This is the opposite side. So what happens is one of these bars right here touch the contact right here, and that's how the electrical current passes through onto the next device in line, whether that's the load or the line voltage. Now, this is also silver, so you have silver on both sides. This is what we call a two-pole contactor. So if you pull a two-pole contactor out, okay, you get 4 on each side, making 8 total contacts of silver. These also have silver in them, but they're just covered up behind this cover. And then this as well, which is used for an amperage tester, but these are typically coated in silver. As well as these, which come off of pressure switches and other devices like that, time delays, relays, anything that is relay related has silver into it. It does take more of a process to get it out and to use it for your own purposes of diluting it. Now, of course, I say it's free, but there are some expenses like buying the chemicals. Now, here's the difference, though. The chemicals can yield you a lot more in silver with all of the stuff that you stack up in comparison to being able to buy it. Now, gold, for instance, on control boards is a little bit more complicated to get off, but it is possible. So you'll see here on this control board, for example, this is all gold plated. This is gold plated. On the back side, we have gold plated fingers. And then you'll see all the little diode connections to all the different relays and resistors on this board are also made up of gold-coated material. Now, you can use chemicals to get this process off as well. I'm not going to show you all of that process today, and I will plan on making more videos to kind of show you guys. And right now, I'm creating my stockpile. But let's get back to the first question. How do you get this for free? Well, you see, a lot of this stuff just ends up in a trash can. You can typically go to an HVAC company, an electrical company, even sometimes small computer repair shops will throw a lot of this stuff out in the trash because it's not working for them anymore, and they don't feel like going through the process of recycling it and reclaiming the materials in it, so they will typically throw it off in a dumpster. You can go to those kind of companies like electrical companies and get their bad breakers, okay? These are very easy to get apart. I'll do a video on that separately on how you get the metal out of them. But they don't care if you're taking it. A lot of the times they'll have old furnaces or old air handlers or old pieces of equipment that they're no longer using that you can pull control boards out of and diodes out of, which may have relays off of them that you can take and start your collection and reuse them and repurpose them to create your own silver stack. Now, after this kind of stuff is purified, you can sell it to bullion dealers as long as you actually purified enough and they have the equipment to test it. But a lot of them will take this kind of material after it's been repurposed and after it's been purified and after it's been recycled and allow it to go back into the market as purified metals, which is one way to build up your stack. Or even to cash flow to buy your actual bullion, say coins or rounds or bars that you prefer with your recycled materials, which is a great way to start your stack. If you're young and you're driving around and you have time, it doesn't hurt you to stop by one of those companies and ask, hey, do you mind if I go through the pieces of equipment that you have laying out in the back of your building or laying around, Or, hey, if you guys throw out contactors, do you mind just keeping those for me? And I'm just going to pick those up at the end of the week because I'm interested in doing a project and I want to pull out some of the materials from it for something else that I'm using. And if you don't mind, I'd just like to take those from you. A lot of them will say, yeah, go ahead, because they're going to end up in the trash anyways, and they pay for their trash. So if you're taking some of their materials out, they might have to stop paying the trash company as much to take stuff out because you're recycling it and repurposing it. That's how a lot of these copper bars were made, from old copper piping to old motors that they were throwing out of places that I had picked up along the way because I wanted to add some benefits to my stack. Now, I'm not saying the copper is great value, but if you're looking for a hobby or something to do, or even just to get into the realm of metals, recycling waste is a great way to do it, and a great way to do it free. So thank you guys for listening to me. Thank you for taking in the time to listen to this video. I hope that some of you actually put this into action if you're looking to seek out. And the reason why I just want to do a huge shout out to Silver Dragons, because he did a video on how he started out. And his start out was simply taking cans, aluminum cans that he found around the neighborhood or around the yard, or going to places that would usually throw them out, asked them for their cans, took their cans, and redeemed those cans to have enough money to pay for putting it back into his precious metals. And this is another great way that I personally have found as building up my stack without taking money or fiat currency out of my pocket to do so, to protect wealth, but also all the metal that you get from this and all the wealth that you get from this in the future, if you do go through with this plan, is all income in your pocket. And when you're sitting there and recycling this stuff, not that I recommend doing this, but you can get all of this done in cash, which will also eliminate you from being taxed on making a second income. So just some tips for you. And even if you don't want to go through the work of pulling all these apart, just to let you know too, there are forms that will buy this stuff from you so that they can recycle it, which is the best part about it. So guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Please like and subscribe if you found any of this information worth it and useful for you. If you want to see me pull some of this stuff kind of apart, give you a yield on the data of how much silver you'd actually get from a certain number of contactors or a certain number of relays or even a certain number of breakers, how much the chemicals cost and what chemicals are needed, please comment down below. I appreciate your feedback. I try to respond to all of my comments as much as possible, and thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.